We are live. Welcome to the Avatar Slang Podcast, your go-to destination for deep dives into the realms of fiction and all things nerdy. Today, I am joined by my man Keeohn, aka Chauncey. I don't even think he realizes why we call him that. And when I say we, I mean me and the other guy of Common Sense, Mike. Do you know why we call you that?
I think so.
Okay, so for the audience, I think you remember the moment we called you Chauncey, but I don't think we made it clear enough. So there was a post when the group first started. Um, Basically, it was like who's the second best shooter of all time, or something like that, or who's the best shooter listed here, something like that. And you were like, "Oh man, why are they leaving off Chauncey Billups?" And we were trying to tell you that they didn't leave him off. They had a other like a question mark, like is there another person? And we were like, well, you could just say other. And you're like, no, they left off Chauncey. And then after the conversation happened, me and Mike spoke to each other and we were like, you know what? We think Key thinks that this is a ranking list. And it wasn't a ranking list, it was just giving you options to get your brain going. But the conversation was already over, so we ain't really make it clear. So since then we just started calling you Chauncey.
Yeah, I
Like your name
think
is
that's what
saved on
it
my phone as Chauncey.
that's hilarious. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It has to be. Yeah, 'cause I saw a bunch of other shooters, best shooters of all time on that list. And
Hmm.
about Chauncey, Mr. Big Shot, man. Chauncey pull up bullets, man. Come on, I can't forget about him. Y'all
Yeah, I
told me for
mean, you said what? We did what?
y'all told me for a while with that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like if you post something funny on Instagram, Mike would text me like, "You seen when Chauncey posts?" I'm like, "Oh, this name really stuck with us."
Oh my lord! Like I
But
get a bill
yeah,
jersey.
you have to now. You got to double down the joke.
Oh wow, that's funny, man. That's funny. No, but thanks for having me, though, man. It was long overdue.
Yeah, long overdue. Like the crossover is there. Here's a joke: me and Chauncey debate a lot, but it's mostly with music, right? We debate on is it basketball?
I think it's a mixture, but I think mainly music.
Okay, but the thing is, we have a lot of crossover on what we like. Is what when we don't agree, we pick at it a lot. So you don't care for Lupe as much as I do. So you call him
Yeah,
Dinosaur Man because you know that's my
nah,
boy.
I can't give you that, man. I like Lupe, man. I just said this to get on your nerves here and there. I love
Okay, see,
Lupe.
that.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
just
like him
that
more than
song.
you, right?
Yeah, you like it
Oh,
more
that
than me.
song you like.
Yeah, it's that song. We read about dinosaurs, which
Okay.
is very creative. I just thought I was like, come on, Lupe. Nobody want to hear nothing about dinosaurs. Like,
Well, it's funny because I remember listening to the Joe Budden podcast and other people have messaged me. Was like, "What's your man up to?" And he even called Lupe to make fun of him. He's like, "That song was stupid." And then Lupe explained it to him, and Joe was like, "Oh, all right. I guess I see your point now." So it
oh,
was a whole running joke. So a lot of people hit me up about that.
really?
So
Oh,
um, where we do have a lot of crossover is that you make fun of DC, like the movies,
yeah, a lot.
but you like the Marvel movies.
Love it. I'm biased.
Okay.
I'm glad to admit it.
I mean, you don't got no choice. I mean, DC hasn't given us a lot of fire since the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, agree. That's funny you said that. I talked to someone about that too, and I said the same exact thing. And I know I had my little beef with DC, but I'm a
Mhm.
huge Batman fan. Believe that.
That's the thing. Batman's a classic character.
Yeah. Like if I can do a draft or whatever, he'd be my number one pick. And
Ooh,
comic like
we might have
we
to
can.
do that one day.
I'm just saying, hey man,
We
doesn't
gotta do
hurt.
it like a draft. Like I'm gonna have to get one more person in here, so that way it's just not two people picking people. But we're gonna have to do that. That's a good idea. So what would it be like a superhero draft,
Yeah,
like
superhero
character
draft.
draft? Superhero.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Go there. Go like say I don't know how many rounds you can make up the rounds. So many characters out there, but that'd be very interesting.
Okay. So you are into Marvel. You're really into TV. That's what I noticed. You're really into TV shows.
Correct.
So that's what we're going to discuss. Then we're going to discuss the like the articles calling prestige TV shows. I grew up calling them the premium channel shows because those are the shows your parents had to pay extra money to get on cable,
Yeah,
basically,
the
right?
same how I know.
Okay, so yeah, I'll call it the prestige TV combo for today. But before we get into that, um, what else are you into? You're into TV. You're into Marvel. You watched Dune recently.
Yes, and phenomenal. I told you earlier, it's the movie of the year. The soundtrack, I love movie soundtracks too.
Mhm.
Uh, so I do listen to it when I'm working. I put on like a Dune soundtrack or give me something else. I couldn't even put a Star Wars soundtrack on or whatever. I
Okay,
still love the Halo 3 soundtrack.
the
The Halo
Halo
3 for the
2?
Halo 3
Oh,
for the
Halo
video
3.
game.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Oh,
love
okay.
yeah man, and the soundtrack I feel like completes the film. Um but Dune was
I'm
just
with you.
fun. That was a movie that you had to see in theaters. It was worth it.
Yeah, that's a movie that's gonna keep getting re-released in theaters like randomly too.
Yeah. And being a fan from the original one back in the '80s, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. This the CGI is gonna be awesome. And when I saw the characters that was gonna like playing actors and actors, like, oh yeah, it's gonna be top tier.
Yeah, so with that's the thing. With all these movies, first of all, I do like that with there's not a Dune conversation, but we already here, so I'm just telling the audience. I like that it was a part one and part two, so you had time to understand the world and the characters a lot more. Like, so I
Mhm.
agree with you. It's definitely a movie of the year candidate. It might just be movie of the year, but there's one
Yeah,
movie that might give it his run for his money.
has the movie
That
come out yet?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
And that's the movie that's gonna save the MCU.
Oh, let's talk about that for a second. Do you think the MCU is in real trouble?
I hate to say, but yes, I really believe so. X-Men '97, that really helped it out a lot. And
But
Loki.
that's not continue mainline MCU. That's the thing.
I know. That's the crazy part. But Loki, I'm
Hmm.
that was phenomenal, and I think that was the only show to have two seasons right on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's the only multiple season show from Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So, so after that, but and besides the films and everything, dude, the Marvels, that was a dud. That was a dud. I hate to
Okay,
see
let's
that.
talk about that. You like the Marvels?
I did not like.
Like you're all, you know what? But you're consistent though, because you probably view the Marvels as a Marvel version of a DC movie in a way, or it's better than a
It,
DC movie.
it reminded me of Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn film.
I got that energy from you. I see why you say that, but I got it over Birds of Prey. And you got mad at me a couple years ago. I'm fine with Birds of Prey.
Oh
I am fine with it. It's not like a spectacular movie, but I get
yeah,
it. But like for it to be a DC movie, no, it's like they could have done better, maybe. But I don't think it's a trash movie. But also be warned, I watched it once during COVID, so I might have to rewatch. It might be trash. It might be trash. I'll give it a
yeah,
rewatch and I'll get back to you.
I tried it again and it wasn't hitting right. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I turned it off like probably
The
45
Marvels
minutes.
or Birds of Prey?
Oh, Birds of Prey. The Marvels
Okay,
only seen.
so okay, I'm gonna rewatch the Marvels, but I liked it. Like, see, the way I see the Marvels is I look at it like it's very consistent with what Marvel has given us before they started their epic run. I think the best, like what we do with rap, like we say, oh, Eminem's best run was his early stuff. I think Marvel's best run was after Winter Soldier. I think Winter Soldier and it's Winter Soldier up to maybe Endgame, maybe Shang-Chi. But I think Endgame, a lot of people would keep at Endgame. But I do think they had some straddlers after Endgame. But consistent run, it's Winter Soldier to Endgame. I think
Yeah,
before Winter Soldier, the quality we were getting C plus B plus movies, but we were fine with
Mhm.
that because we didn't have the standards yet. I think getting the Marvels after Winter Soldier
Mm.
changes the way we look at it. But I think had we got the Marvels in 2015, we'd be fine with it.
Yeah, I agree with you, 100%.
I'm lying. I said 2015. I meant 2012 because 2015 is post Winter Soldier. But you get my point.
Yeah, I got your point. I agree with you 100%. And I love those Captain American films. Uh, the first one was decent, but Winter Soldier was probably my favorite.
That's one of my favorite movies ever.
I see you posted that too. I'm not mad at that.
like because I was a Marvel stan basically my whole life before I even realized like I didn't really understand that I never thought society would be at the point where everyone's watching Marvel movies. I just knew I
Right.
liked it. Like matter of fact, funny story. Yeah, you're old enough to understand this. You're a year older than me, right?
Correct. Yeah, 34.
Okay. So you remember the dial-up era. So I used to get on my dad's computer at night. I used to sleep like most teenagers get online to
Mm-hmm.
see nasty stuff. I used to get online to read about Captain Marvel, and I'm talking about OG Captain Marvel, like the man who died and Carol had to replace.
People forget
So
about that too.
yeah. So I was reading all that, so that's why I know about the comics, but I didn't physically have to read them because I was reading the storylines on Marvel.com back in 2001.
Mm.
So that's why I used to do my time. So they started making these new cartoons and these new movies. I was just ready. So that's my experience with Marvel.
That's actually dope, man. Like I never had comics uh, growing up as a kid. I took the action figures or watched
Mm-hmm.
the animated series back then in the late
Well, they're
'90s.
before our time, so we didn't really stand a chance.
Exactly. But that's why like seeing like shows like X-97 come back, man, it just brought so many memories back, man. And
So
they
it's
did a
funny that
great.
you say that. Um, so that's I always tell my friends who are into Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to be in the comics to be consider yourself a fan because Marvel does a great job bringing you to their storylines without having comic background. So I think one time you said, oh, I'm not into the Marvel like you, and I was like, correction, you're just as into it as me because you watched everything you needed to watch. So the good thing about what makes Marvel good is you don't need any prior knowledge to understand what's going on. If you need prior knowledge to understand what's going on with their movies, I'm talking about comic wise, then they're not doing
Mhm.
their job. And I think they're doing their job correctly. Like you understand what Captain America is about, right?
Yeah, come on, man.
That's all you need. So can I ask you this? When did you get into Marvel and all that? Were you like into the cartoons growing up? Like how did that happen?
um, Heavily in the cartoon. That was my
Okay.
introduction to Marvel. Spider
Okay.
Man, X Man, like those two were like the OGs.
The Fox Kids ones, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
those are
So
those.
you're a 90s
those
baby.
yeah, of course, man.
Okay. Okay. So okay. So we agree on Marvel. We agree on Dune. You think Deadpool and what's it called? Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine is going to save the MCU. You're
Yeah,
probably right. Um, yeah. So I think I agree with you. Like I might give you pushback on the Marvels thing, but I get it. I get it. You're consistent. Like I don't mind if I disagree with you, but if you're consistent, there's nothing I can say.
you know, it's the first
Um,
time me going back and forth with a little debate like that.
what you say?
I said it's like the first time me and you actually agreed on something. We're not actually, fighting, going back and forth about a topic or whatever.
We agreed on. Oh, this is random. This is not nerd related, but I might agree with you about the Embiid thing. About he's a great player, but I
Hmm.
don't think we're lucky enough to have we have no luck. Like every time we have a chance, he gets injured.
Yeah, it's a curse, the Philly curse, man. It's
Yeah,
still lingering. Um,
so
it's
we might as well
it's
move
that
on.
yeah. At this point, yeah, you have to build around Maxi. And Beep has a good 2 healthy-ish years left, and I think it's all over, man.
Yeah, and I mean, isn't he already 31?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it doesn't usually get better.
nah,
So
not
yeah.
but he has to lose that weight too, man. He's 7 foot 280, maybe 290, and you can tell he's not in basketball shape. He missed, how many months of that surgery.
Well, that's
He's
the thing. It's hard. They don't want you to cardio when you're that injured. But you know what? We could deep dive into that because if they get, are they playing tonight?
yeah, they're actually playing right now.
Oh shoot! I picked the wrong day for a podcast.
That's why when you told me hit me up, I was like, okay, we'll do it.
All right, fine. Let's speed this up then. Let's get into the best HBO shows, or like I said, the best prestige shows.
Oh
Um,
man, we
what are you in? You don't gotta give me a hard ranking. You could do it the way you like. We could discuss the shows. I know you're into Sopranos, big.
number one,
That's number one for you, like
number
hands
one,
down.
hands down, number one.
It beats. It's like is better than all the Showtime shows too, or is you just doing it for HBO? I
I
can't
think
picture Showtime having a better show.
I think Showtime, the best show I think Showtime ever had was Dexter. That's just my opinion.
Okay, but I don't think I don't like. If I'm being honest, I didn't finish Dexter, but critically, I don't think it's touching Sopranos.
Not at all. Game
I
of
don't even
Thrones
think it's
doesn't.
touching the. It's not touching because to me like this is a little off topic, but I think HBO had the crown for most of our lives. It
Mhm.
probably still does, but I think FX is coming strong.
FX is. Always been a fan of FX. Another show that I love. I don't know if you ever checked out Sons of Anarchy.
I've
Phenomenal.
watched it, but I need to start from the beginning. Like I was watching, I was like, oh, this show might be it. Like
Mm,
I agree. I didn't take it seriously enough in his original run because my cousin used to watch it. I used to watch it with him. I just don't know how I didn't catch it. But on the second run, I'm catching it on when
mm.
my barber watches it a lot. I'm like, oh, this show is actually really crazy.
I'm
Like,
telling you, man, it's top
what do
tier.
you
It's
like
top
about
tier.
it?
It's more than just a motorcycle show. That everybody says motorcycle and gangs or whatever.
Mhm,
No, it's great writing. The character development is very awesome. It's about family and loyalty,
mhm,
stuff like that. And every season is, it's a different story, it's a different enemy. Let's say,
mhm.
uh, it had a good strong. I think went 6 seasons, I believe, which is
Okay,
like
that's good.
the
Yeah.
normal run series. But it was really good at that time. FX,
Mhm.
yeah, that was it.
And that's like almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah, yeah. Because after
Okay.
that, I believe after that ended, Breaking Bad started coming up.
I think they ended around the same time.
At the same time, I gotta look at
Yeah, because
the
Breaking
year.
Bad literally started, believe it or not, it started when at the end of our high school run.
Really?
Yeah, Breaking Bad is older than you realize.
Oh wow,
It
I didn't
came out
realize.
like 08, 09.
Oh wow, yeah, I definitely wasn't checking it out then. I think I called.
I
People
didn't
were
watch
telling
it
me,
yet either.
yeah, I think the last season people talk about it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start watching the series, and it took me some time or whatever. And I'm like,
It,
wow,
it was a grind in the beginning, right?
yes, yes,
It
it
was
was.
slow in the beginning. Breaking Bad fooled me. Like I tried watching it like twice, and I'm just like, I don't see the point.
Right, and the funny thing about that, before Breaking Bad, I had never knew what meth was. Have never heard or never knew anything
Want to
about
know
meth.
something funny? So like, I'm not like I know way more now, but at that time, I didn't know about drugs all like that. So like, I seen Breaking Bad, and I was like, oh, this is a whole new world.
And to
So
see
I
the
think I'm
father,
with you.
yeah, and to see the father of Malcolm Middle in there, that was comical. Like I'm
Oh
going to,
yeah, yeah.
and
Because
he's
we
just
didn't
loving.
know as kids, we didn't know he was like a actor. Fun fact:
Yeah,
did you know Billy from Power Rangers is his last name is Cranston? That comes from Malcolm's dad. What's his name? What's his
Bryan
name in real
Cranston.
life? Bryan
Brian,
Cranston. Yeah, so that comes from the Power Rangers character is inspired by his name is inspired by Bryan Cranston.
I didn't know that.
Random. Yeah, so he was basically he was grinding for a long time.
Wow. I
Yeah,
damn, I did not
Breaking
know that.
Bad put him over the top. Yeah, I didn't know
Wow.
either. I read it randomly on the internet one day. Then I did a
Oh,
deep
that's
dive and yeah. So
interesting. And back to like you said, the TV shows. When I brought up Breaking Bad, that was an AMC show. AMC had a
mhm.
nice little run because they had Mad Men and they had Walking
Mad
Dead
Men. And what?
and Walking Dead. That was just
That
three
tailed off.
top series right there. AMC was running the game for a little bit.
AMC is a grill and that wasn't even a premium channel. So that was so did you finish Mad Men?
I had to finish it up. I watched 3 seasons of it. I had to finish
Oh,
it
it
up.
gets really good. The thing
It
about
does,
Mad Men is it's not like you know how in like Snowfall or Sons of Anarchy, there's kind of not an end game with Mad Men. So you don't have to rush through that one.
right?
Just like don't feel like you're rushing to a conclusion.
Okay.
Like
Oh
there's a
yeah.
conclusion, but it's not like Snowfall.
Okay. As long as don't get me guessing and confused like Lost, then I'll be fine.
Did you finish Lost?
I haven't. I haven't because I was getting annoyed with that show. I'm like, all right, how long does this keep going?
I'm
Like,
hearing
what's
it might
going?
not be worth your time. Like, not that it's a bad show, but it's definitely different. It's so Lost is definitely you could tell it was on network TV. I'm gonna just put it that way. With dramas, they just hit totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of an example. Matter of fact, like you ever watch like a CW superhero show, you know it's about to be total nonsense.
Oh, I refuse to watch that mess. Um, I watched Arrow when it first aired. Like
It
the
was good when it first came out.
first few seasons was great. I'm like, wow, they got something here. Then it got a little goofy after a while. Once they started doing crosses with the Flash, which I haven't seen, I'm like, okay, you're losing me now.
I mean, yeah, The Flash was Dawson's Creek with super speed.
Hilarious.
I mean, that's all CW is. I mean, but yeah, let's get back to the Sopranos thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so the Sopranos, that yeah. So usually when I have these conversations, or I listen to these conversations, I'm gonna not lie. Usually when I listen to these conversations, people usually say The Sopranos or The Wire. Those are the two.
Yeah.
Like some people have Sopranos number one, some people have The Wire number one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like no matter where I go, there's another show that I seen thrown in there, but it's not hitting me right now. But those are the say it again.
The Boardwalk Empire.
Yes, I didn't get into that yet though. Did you finish that?
I I watched it 3 times. I got that. I even have the book too.
Really? Is that good?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
that good. Especially if you, I love that era, like the 1930s and
Yeah.
40s era. I always like that how they dress and how they talk and stuff like that. And it's based
Yeah.
on true events.
Okay. So that's a must see.
I think so. I
Okay.
enjoyed it a lot. Like you would enjoy it. It's I
Okay.
think about 6 seasons or 7 seasons, and
And
I forgot
that's an
the
HBO
main character.
joint, right?
HBO. Yeah, the main
Okay.
character. My guy with the teeth. Uh,
Is he the one that was on The Sopranos for one season?
yeah, he was on there. He's on the Adam Sandler movie.
The
He was
goofy looking guy. I can't think of his name right now.
yeah, Belushi or not Belushi.
I'm gonna look his
Uh,
name up, but keep cooking. I'm gonna look his name up while you're talking.
yeah, he was phenomenal because he was in Reservoir Dogs, and after that, you see him in a lot of comedies like Adam Sandler films.
Is it
And
Steve Buscemi?
yeah, that's who it is.
Buscemi?
Steve Buscemi. Buscemi, that's what it is.
Buscemi. Okay.
He was phenomenal. As,
That's the thing. He is a phenomenal actor, and I didn't know that until because I'm late on The Sopranos. I didn't finish it until last summer.
Oh, okay.
So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm one of the crazy people who like the ending, but I'll get into that. But to add on to your point, I realized he's a good actor when I saw him on there.
Yeah, it was definitely a different role for him. It wasn't no goofy Steve Buscemi character. It was really good. It was dark and gritty. That's how I like my series. And the book is
So
phenomenal.
okay, so when I watch it, I'm gonna have you back on then.
Yeah, yeah, we did. And I'll rewatch it too. I
Okay,
really love it. Yeah, man, that series is really awesome, man. I highly recommend it for a lot of people. I know some people get turned off with the whole era, like the 1930s, 40s, and stuff, but it's
do
really
that.
good watch. And it has a lot of characters in there too. It even has Daredevil. The guy who plays Daredevil in the series, he's on that show.
Is that where he started from?
Yep.
Oh, okay. See, I never knew what he was from. I know him as Daredevil. I thought he came out of nowhere, but
Oh
whoever comes
no,
out of nowhere, right?
exactly. That's like we watch Oz. You're like, oh, that's such and such. That's such and such, which is another show, Oz. Now,
That's that's on your list of as one of the greatest.
Oz is up there, and Oz is actually one of the first few shows that HBO actually had at the time. It came out in like '98, I believe, or
Okay, I
'97.
did know that,
So that was one of its
but I
first,
didn't
like
watch it though. That was
it's
about
really
like
good.
jail, right?
Yeah, and
Okay,
I know a lot of people said that jail's nothing like that. So they give you a little over the top with a lot of things, but you'll love the characters.
okay.
Um, it was just it was a good watch, man.
So I have a question. So I want to live in that point. Does something have to be realistic for it to be liked? Like, does it
No,
always have to be realistic?
nah, not really. It depends on the person, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
If you like, it's like I said, I'm a fan of good writing, and
Yeah.
and if the writing is up to par, then I'm gonna like
Hmm.
it. Like people
For
give me a
me,
lot of for liking. I'm sorry.
no, no. Go ahead. I think you're cooking right now.
No, people give me a lot of crap for liking the show Sex and the City.
But that's considered a good show. It's just because it's women.
This is the women part, yeah. So it's a lot of the guys that comment like Sex and the City. What? No, it's a good wife. Once again, great writing, great story, and stuff that a lot of people can relate to, men or women.
Mm. Yeah.
Phenomenal. And that show was successful on HBO.
But doesn't that open the door for something like Insecure?
Secure. Trying to say I know other series out there the same thing. Um,
Girlfriends?
Girlfriends, which they Girlfriends, man. That show was great, man. I don't want to get off topic. Yeah, it opened a lot of doors for a lot of shows with just the all female cast.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a writing fan. Okay. So we're gonna have to talk more. We're gonna have to talk way more because I like this. This is like I don't even know how to explain what I'm saying, but that's that's what draws me on to things. Like I think the writing comes first, everything is after. Like
Yeah,
like I don't think you could redeem bad writing. You could kind of get past corny acting. It will get on my nerves, but you can see past it. Like random example, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sometimes they're cheesy, but the writing
yeah,
helps the movie, even though it's a kids
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Or matter of fact, that's why we watch kids movie like Shrek because it's a well written movie that
Mm-hmm,
ages well. So I'm
mm-hmm.
with you on the good writing thing.
Man,
So I have a question. So since we're talking about other premium shows, um, this I'm about to lean into Power because I know you're into the Power universe.
yeah.
And for me, it's not a top show. Like if you like it, you like it, but it's not in the realm of like The Wire and Snowfall and all that. Not to me.
Really?
Oh, you want to explain that?
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious to hear
Okay,
this.
okay. So Power to me. So back to the whole realism thing. I don't think you can. It doesn't have to be realistic, but I think when someone says, "Oh, that's not realistic," I think they're saying it's not realistic within their world. So the first season of Power And I'm only speaking to the one with Ghost, the original Ghost, because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get into all the other parts. Um, the first season, I may not be accurate, but shows still make you feel a certain way. So I felt like, oh, it's a realistic take on how Kingpin would be. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
they set that up just to U-turn later and make it this crazy show. Like that might as well like Power to me became Gotham.
Mm.
And like they're having shootouts in the open. Tommy is sniping DAs. Like cops don't die that much. Like didn't Tommy snipe Angela by accident?
Yeah. And you're trying to hit Ghost at the time.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like that's not a street. That's not like a grounded street drama no more. To me, that's a soap opera, which is fine. Like I think black people allowed to have soap operas too. I think we need to
And
call it a soap opera.
it is you're not the first person to say that too. I've heard so many people say it was soap opera-ish.
Oh,
So
really?
many people, yes, so many people. So you just saying that just it just made me laugh inside. Like I heard from so many people. You're right. It can be a little out of out of this world and stuff. Like, come on now, like really. I think for this show, I love the characters.
Hmm.
I love Tommy, which people always compare that show to like 50 and Eminem. That's who it is.
Really?
Um,
I think
yeah,
I think Tommy's too nuts to be Eminem. I see
I
why
mean,
they think it, but
I guess because 50 to 50 shows, it was like, oh, like
oh,
if they want
right,
to,
okay,
oh, that's Eminem. Eminem's character in a way. White boy hanging out with
yeah,
all the black. Uh, yeah. I love
okay,
his character. Character is very awesome, but like the stuff with the cartel and stuff like that, like, come on, man. If the cartel really want to get you hit like that, you would get hit. Like, let's be honest. So you're right. It is a
yeah.
little soap opera, but I
It
love it
is a
right.
lot happening. See, and that's the thing. I'm the opposite. Like the characters make me mad,
Yeah.
but I think the characters make me mad because they're not living in the realism I thought was there. So I think they set me up one way and went a different way. If I knew it was going to start, I would have accepted that. It's like when you see Captain America pull down a helicopter, you're not mad at that because you know he's super strong or he has a chance to do that. So it's realistic within his world.
Yeah.
But you don't just see him trashing Thanos with no hammer. He needed that hammer. So I think sometimes things need to play by his own rules. That's my gripe with Power. But like, I'm not one of those people that like, ironically enough, people think I am. But if you like it, you like it. I'm gonna just tell you how much I don't.
Well, I think you actually would like Raising Canaan. I feel like that's the most realistic
I've heard
series
that.
out of
Everyone's telling me that. They're telling me I would. You know my issue?
what's that?
I just watch too many things. So
It
it's like
happens.
there's even things I like, I'm very interested in, and I just don't get to it. Like I'm still in the trenches with Fargo. I'm still in the trenches with Sons of Anarchy. I did
Mm-hmm.
finish Sopranos, so like I crossed that off my list. Um
Proud of you.
yeah, no, that I had to do that one. That one was like scratching at me, and I like my mom never had HBO growing up, so I had to go back and watch The Sopranos.
Yeah,
That's a
that's how
writing masterclass.
that's how it is, man. Um, until we get back to HBO show, there's another show which I think you watched. I know my man Terrence watched it. Show called From. Are you
That's
familiar with
on
the series
Apple.
called? That's on Epics, I believe. MGP,
Oh
MGMT.
yes, yes. As the dark skinned guy, I don't remember his name right now.
He was in Best Man Holidays, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Also in Oz.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was the one of the main characters. He was the guy in the wheelchair. I don't know if you ever seen like clips or anything,
Okay,
but he
I think I may have seen it and I have connected it because I only see clips of Oz. I never watched the actual show.
yeah, when the guy on From, the main character, and he's on that show, and he's also on Sons of Anarchy.
I seen him on Sons back
Yeah,
during his original run. I did see him on
hmm
Sons.
I think they called him
Okay,
Copo or something like that.
let me pull up this guy's name. Um, I can't find his name.
I know he's in the Best Man movie.
Oh, Harold
Uh,
Perrinel. I think that's a French name, so I'm not going to say that right, but I know his first name is Harold.
I think it's from Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, okay. He might be.
And he was also in
Oh,
The
he's also from
Matrix.
the Matrix.
Yep.
Oh, we said that at the same time. Okay. Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's been getting busy, man. He's in a lot of projects.
Oh, yeah. He was in the new Romeo and Juliet. Not the
Yep.
new,
He's
but the modern version.
yeah, the Leonardo DiCaprio one in the '90s.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
With
Well, yeah. So he was doing his
yeah,
thing since 90,
hmm
since the 90s.
yeah, he's been
Okay.
around, man. He's been around. So yeah, that's a series I really want you to watch. It has a lot of lost elements in it.
Okay.
But this show just came out of nowhere and kind of blew up. You know, especially being on what's it, Epics or the same network that Godfather Harlem was on. I don't know if you watched
How do
that.
you like that? Because I seen pieces of that and it looks really good. I just didn't dig in yet.
Um, Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker. That's an actor that doesn't really get as much props as he should.
Yeah, and he's kind of bounced around like things that mattered. Like he was in the role in Star Wars that mattered to Star Wars people. I know you're not into Star Wars that much, right?
Not a lot. I've seen stuff here and
Okay.
there, but I'm not.
Okay. So in the Star Wars world, he plays a character that matters to people who really like that franchise. Um
Mm-hmm.
he's Godfather of Harlem. What else did he play in? I feel like he was in was he in the Great
Uh,
Debaters?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Um, I know he's in the movie Species from the '90s. It's called Species.
Oh, Species. I didn't know he was in that. That movie
Yeah,
used to
he was
freak
in
me
it.
out when I was little.
Yeah, that the girl that was the alien thing. Yeah, that's pretty out too. Um, and he also, I think he won an Oscar for his role playing Idi Amin. I think Last King of Scotland. That was the movie he was in. Was James
I didn't realize
McAvoy.
he. Oh snap! Okay.
It's called Last Kings of Scotland, and I think that was his
Yeah,
Oscar. Like, oh,
I didn't realize he was in that.
yeah, he was phenomenal. Yeah, Godfather Harlem is really good. Like I said, it takes I've seen the '60s and shows like a Malcolm X at the time. Like he was before Frank Lucas. Frank Lucas worked under him.
I
Um,
did. I did hear that. So that's what made me check it out for a little bit, but I just didn't stick with it.
yeah, yeah, check it out, please. Godfather Harlem. I think they're coming back for one more season. I'm not sure. But it's really phenomenal. So yeah, I'm sorry I branched off to other networks and shows like that.
Oh no, no, we're good. Listen, that's how these kind of conversations are gonna go when you talk about all these great shows.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. As far back to HBO, so we named like the Sopranos, The Wire, which I truly love. The Wire. The final season, it was once a little young kids started coming in the game. I'm like, all right, it's cool, but it's not
It
Stringer
just faded
Bell.
off a little bit for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like the whole Marlo Stanfield thing, which was cool
Mhm.
and all that, but it wasn't like the rest of the seasons. And season two, I thought was kind of slow too with the docs.
Yeah. So question. So Sopranos consistency is what will give you what will give it the edge over the Wire.
Yes, until the final of season
Is
six.
there a weak? So quick question. Is there a weak point in Sopranos for you, like a weak season?
Hmm.
I don't mean like the weakest season of the bunch. I'm saying like, is there a season where you're just like, I ain't care for that season?
If I had to pick, it will probably be season one, just because I feel like it's a little slow. But I think they knew what they had with the show. They're just building it up. I think that was
Hmm.
the weak point at the moment. And I think after that, that's when I was just completely hooked on there. And I wasn't watching; was actually airing at the time because I think the final episode came out when I was still in elementary school.
Hmm.
I just remember people talking about the final episode, and everybody's TV went out and stuff, and everyone went
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
So I was like, let me watch this show. Eventually, I think I called it like 3, 4 years later, or whatever, and I was in middle school, and I'm like, wow, this is what I missed. And I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of the whole mobster movies,
Yeah.
Casino, Goodfellas, and Godfather. I love those films. So I knew the show was going to be pretty good, and it's modern days too. It's a modern time
And it's
crime.
not just about the mobster stuff. Like you see the family dynamic.
Yep. They show like certain characters that want to get away from the mob. They want to do their own thing. Then you see what happens eventually. Yeah, it's more than that. It's more than just shoot them up. Hey, this is our turf. It's a lot more dialogue in these shows, man. And that's why. And James Gandolfini, who plays Tony Soprano, God rest his soul, he does not sound like that in real life,
No, he doesn't.
which is hilarious.
Like, like he's just a good actor. I wish we would have got more from him because he died like almost 10 years ago now, right?
Yeah, yep. And here's something. There's a show on HBO called The Night of. Have you ever heard of it?
Hmm. I don't think so. Let me look it up while you're talking, but explain it to me.
There's a show called The Night of, and we had one season, but people, I think when last time I checked it, it was a show that James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano, actually wrote and was going to star in it. And I
Okay.
think years after he died, I mean 3, 4 years after he died, that was the next big project for HBO, and he was going to be the lawyer,
Okay.
which you'll recognize the actor too, young actor, but pretty much take place in New York.
Hmm.
Guy meets his girl at a bar, whatever, takes her home, doing adult stuff, and when he
Hmm.
woke up, he was all bloody. She was stabbed up and bloody, and he's freaking out, and he clearly didn't do it. So someone's trying to set him up. So he gets, picked up by the cops, and it's just like the lawyer trying to find out what happened and going through cameras. It was really a tough,
Oh, I
dark
heard
show.
of this.
Only one
I heard
season,
of
which
this. So it was a mini series.
yes,
Yes.
I wish more to it because it was a big cliffhanger at the end,
Oh,
and I hate those
yeah.
big
I
cliffhangers.
hate when miniseries end like that. Can I bring up one miniseries? It's an HBO series that
Okay,
I really liked. I like the Mayor of Easttown. Did you watch that?
I loved it.
Did
I
you?
loved it. I
The
loved it.
ironic part is I live in Delco now. So
So
that was big. I'm sorry, say that
it
again.
was based around it, right?
Yeah, yeah. So to the audience that don't know, because I have cousins who listen to this from New England. Delco is the suburbs next to like West Philadelphia. Me and Key, we're from Abington, which is near the northwest and north section of Philadelphia. So this we're from those suburbs. So Delco's on the opposite side of the city. So um did you know it was based in Pennsylvania?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
they I think they said it, but her accent. And they said Kate Winslet lived in Philadelphia for a while to try to
Okay.
learn like the Philly accent, the lingo and stuff.
Yeah.
And she did a phenomenal job.
Oh, she's phenomenal. Like I wouldn't be mad if they made that a regular show, but it would be different. And I'm saying that because I'm selfish, but I don't really want them to do a Law and Order style because I like nothing against Law and Order, but I do like the idea of solving one mystery rather than having one every week.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like that in Mary Easttown. They solved two mysteries in they solved the guy who was kidnapping people and the murder.
Murder, yep.
So I do like that they balanced that. So, but I wouldn't be mad if I saw more of her.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I thought it was phenomenal. Especially, it's a miniseries. But Kate Winslet did her job in that. Even Evan Peters was in there for a little bit till they
He
killed
is
him
so
off.
good. Yeah,
Oh,
that
spoiler.
that that was shocking.
Yeah,
That was
that
shocking.
whew. But he did a good job too, and that's the
Hmm.
dude I like. Evan Peters is he's he's awesome. I would like to see him back as Quicksilver again. I don't know if they ever will, but
Maybe in the Secret Wars. Do you know anything about that?
bits and pieces. I heard like a lot of people
So
returning.
that's
Maybe
supposed to be Avengers 6, I think.
okay.
So Avengers, one of the Avengers movies is supposed to be a Kang movie. The next was supposed to be a Secret Wars movie where we think all these different universes are merging together to have a big fight or something.
Mm.
So he could come in that capacity. But with Marvel, you can't tell. Like you can amp yourself up for something so big and it'll have 6 heroes in it. You don't know. You just gotta wait.
Yeah, yeah. Feige likes to do that with us. Unfortunately,
I
Kevin
mean, yeah,
Feige.
and the movies are expensive as it is. Like apparently making a good sci-fi movie in America costs $1 billion.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they
That's the issue. Cause lately Marvel movies been costing $250 million to make. So that's why the
I mean,
Marvels is considered a flop. It made like 250,000. No, sorry, 250 million. For any other movie, that's a lot. But they put
yeah. That's
so much resources into it.
that's why.
So
That's why.
so they're too expensive to make. So I
That's
can't ask for too much. I mean, I
yeah.
can, but
That's
I can't.
and then let me ask you this. On the Marvel situation, what's going on with Hulk? Is that still rights to Fox or Sony? I don't know who owns the Hulk.
So
'Cause I like
it's
the Hulk
partially
movie.
Universal,
Oh, okay.
and Universal doesn't seem like it's one of those things. It's like we don't really plan on using them, but just because I don't want to
Right.
use them doesn't mean you can. It's kind of a business thing. It's like, well, it's mine, so you can't just use it. Like you don't own it. It's just as simple as that. To be honest, there are
Man,
Marvel's only allowed to use them for group setting, but no solo stuff.
man, that's unfortunate too. 'Cause I would love to see like a Planet Hulk movie or something. 'Cause I like Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. I don't
He
like
actually
how
just came
Hulk
out and
looks.
said that's never happening at this rate.
Really.
Yeah. Um,
Wow.
I didn't really dig into why. I just read the headline and I seen it in multiple places and
Mm.
resources I believe. Like it was IGN and they're like a CNN of comic book movies. So
Uh,
yeah, so that's a and unfortunately Thor Ragnarok was supposed to be their Planet Hulk conclusion, and which is kind of corny, but
Dang, that's unfortunate. Hopefully, something in the future will happen where they can get the rights or something.
yeah.
All you do is pray. Um, but back to HBO again. And of course, the show that's up there with Sopranos. I still got Sopranos over it by just this
Mhm.
Game of.
Game of Thrones.
Oh boy,
How can I even forget Game of Thrones? Like, can I say something that you might agree with?
what's that?
Game of Thrones is the last show from the old world. And I say this, when I say that, I mean that's the last show we all watch together as a society, almost
Mm-hmm.
like where, like, don't get me wrong, there's shows that's come out weekly, but we're not all watching at the same time because we're all on our own algorithm. Like, if I go
Yeah.
on your Instagram feed, you see what you see. If you go on
Mm.
mine, you probably gonna see a lot of Spider-Man, and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't even know this existed. If you go on my friend Mike's, it's a bunch of hip hop, deep cuts I never knew existed. Everyone lives in their own bubbles. We only
Yeah.
kind of visit each other's bubbles. But back when Game of Thrones was Game of Thrones, I'm talking about before the last few seasons, we're still living the old world and we're all watching it weekly together.
Yep.
And it was the last, so it's the last big phenomenon that we're watching weekly, I think.
Yes. And if you didn't watch it, let's say you was working or whatever, and you didn't watch it, and you went on to Facebook or IG that night, it's gonna get spoiled for you.
Yes.
And I learned
Yes.
the hard because I got the Red Wedding ruined for me. Yeah.
So the one I saw, but because I didn't know any of the characters, I didn't put it together until I saw it. What got ruined for me was I think one of the dragons got taken down
Mm,
by
the Walkers.
Cersei, maybe. Oh, what was the Walker? Yes, yes, yes. And they were making Blue Eyes. Remember Blue Eyes White Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yep.
They were making jokes of that, and because I knew so much about Yu-Gi-Oh, I was like, oh, I guess this ice guy turned a dragon into a blue dragon,
It
and
was a good call.
but because I was so far behind, it couldn't even be ruined because I didn't fully understand. But once
Right.
it got closer to that, I was like, oh, I see where we headed. So to your point, Game of Thrones is getting spoiled, and you know what? I couldn't be mad because I was way behind.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that it happened. But you know what? Even watching it after it got spoiled was 10 times better. The seeing it visually, wow.
Yeah, it's
Um,
still a wonderful experience.
and what sucks is I know we have House of Dragons, which is coming season 2, I believe, is coming up
Too.
very. It'll be coming very soon. There was like 10 other spin-offs apparently after the original went off.
They all
They
got
had a
canceled one by one.
yep. And I guess I didn't know there was gonna be a Jon Snow one. Afterwards, I
Well,
wanted to see Arya one because she's going to travel. She's going to Westeros
there's
and
gonna be a
stuff.
what?
They had the one with Arya. She was when she was on a ship on
Yes.
a. She was out the I think traveling out to Westeros or whatever. And I really
Yes, that
wanted
was
to
gonna
see
be a
her.
thing.
I felt like that would have been great. So I don't know why they decided to just pull the plug on that, but I think it was stupid because it was still Game of Thrones was everything at that moment. And even House of
Hmm.
Dragons, it did it once that came out, it killed it in numbers too. So maybe it's a money thing. I don't know, but I think they missed the ball with
Um.
that.
So let me ask you this: how do you feel about House of the Dragon?
I enjoy it. It's not Game of Thrones, obviously, because we grew so much with Game of Thrones. That's like our baby.
Hmm.
House of Dragons, I think it might have potential to be up there. The way it ended, I was like, whoa. I'm ready to see what's going to happen because the real queen, she's pissed off. Um, and I just love that whole the Targaryen backstory to them is very awesome. And I always like the
I
Targaryens. I
have
just
to
thought they
agree. I will be honest though, because I was juggling 7 shows. I got like an episode or two left to finish.
mhm.
Um, and I got bad attention span issues. It got too slow, so I just kind of forgot to go back. But then I saw the trailer for the new one. I was like, Derek, what are you doing? And I heard the season ended crazy. I just didn't make
Mhm.
time. So I'm gonna finish
Oh,
it next time we talk.
good thing I didn't say it. That all right. So now I know you didn't finish. I'm
Yes,
glad I
good
didn't
thing.
say.
Yeah, I had
Good.
to
Okay.
stop you before you had a chance. Although I think
Oh,
I have a
oh,
feeling I know what happened. I have a slight feeling, but I'd rather it be a feeling than it be definite.
okay. Okay. That's fair. Yeah. Please check that out obviously before the new season comes out. That was great. Yeah. Game of Thrones is just its own. That's I think you could probably put that in Mount Olympus in HBO shows.
I
I don't think
think a
people.
lot of people will agree with you.
Yeah. I don't think people get mad at that at all.
I mean, it's
Um.
definitely one of the biggest shows of our lifetimes. It's the last show to pull in huge ratings because not that I follow ratings like in a way that
But,
matters to me, but I am aware of them, I'll say. So TV show ratings don't get this like old shows get better ratings than new shows. And I'm not saying old shows are better, but the landscape is
right.
different. We have so many shows now. Even like you can go on any streaming app and find at least one decent show, even if it's not a A plus. You can find a B on any app now. You
Agree.
just have to have time to watch it.
That's the only thing. And then
So
right now playoffs is going on, so it's like,
yeah,
oh
and
god,
that's the thing. We're Philly sport fans, so we're always gonna have a sport to watch.
exactly. Like I'm even watching some of the NHL playoffs, man. It's just
Yeah, I forgot you're really a sports head.
yeah, I'm just in tune with it. And you got boxing, UFC. I watch all that, man.
We
And
gotta
I do
follow
a
the
lot of
hip hop nonsense.
yep,
That's
got
the
to.
thing. And then you're a gamer too.
Yep, that's another one. Listen, we gotta run Fortnite soon too, man. We gotta do that, man.
And you run on Xbox, right?
Correct.
So that's the thing I meant to tell you. I'm on Xbox and PlayStation. I don't think I ever made it clear. I like PlayStation, but I don't work for PlayStation, so I bought me an Xbox. They can't fire me.
Nah, not at all. Now, I
So
will
I'm
say PlayStation makes better exclusive games by a long shot, 100%.
mhm.
That's why I'm thinking about getting a PS5. 'Cause I want to play Spider Man.
So I'll
Um,
tell you this. Um because you'll be newer to it, it'll hit you differently. I'm kind of numb to the exclusive game thing now. Unless it's like Final Fantasy, because that's like different. But like
yeah,
the, PS5 is a very well made system, but the exclusive's not hitting as hard for me as it did for like PS3 and PS4.
yeah, I could agree. I think the
And they
Xbox
got
all they have.
worse.
Mm-hmm.
But my bad, keep going.
Xbox all they really have is Halo, which I like the first three Halos. I thought they were just masterpieces, and it got a little crazy afterwards. And I love the
Mhm.
Gears of War games. I thought
Yeah,
they
Gears
were
is
great.
good. I'm new to that whole thing because this is my first Xbox console I ever had. I have a
Mm,
Series S. So
yeah, that's what I had.
I I love Game Pass like because I missed the whole generation of gaming. I missed a lot of 360 and PS3. So ended
Mm,
up getting a PS3, but it was I only had it for 2 years before PS4 came out. So I missed a
uh,
lot of PS3.
oh man, you missed
So and I missed a lot of 360.
A lot of Call of Duty lobby wars.
Yeah, I missed a lot of that. So like Game Pass lets me catch up on all that.
Yeah, that's the one thing I love. Game Pass. Like I said, that's a monthly subscription right there, and I'm proud of that subscription. Besides my other
Yeah.
subscription, so man, and then you got the cloud. You can, instead of downloading the game, you can just play it from there.
I play on my like literally like when we're done podcasting, I literally have my controller next to me. If I feel like it, I can just turn on Fortnite from the computer.
Yep, it's easily. And eventually I will get a PC set up because I do want
Mhm.
to start stream. Like, I want to start streaming, gaming and stuff like that. Um, Cause I feel like I have the time to do it now. Back then, I don't think my folks would have been okay with me just trying to be a streamer and not work or whatever. I think they would have had
Right.
a yeah, I think I'm gonna start that streaming thing soon. Something I really want to do, and I love interacting with people. And I only play games I'm actually good at. So like Fortnite, I'll do Madden.
Mhm.
I only play people Madden unless they want to bet money.
Really? You like
Yeah,
that at Madden? Like you like okay. So I won't play you then.
yeah.
Because
I
I
play.
just jumped back to Madden. Like
Okay, who your squad?
I'm like a rebel. Like all that social justice stuff I be saying, I be like meaning it. Like sports games be pissing me off. So I'm like, I'm not gonna pay for it. And then Game Pass was like, oh, you don't have to. We're gonna give it to you for free.
See, they
So
got
I
you
was like,
right
all
there.
right,
They got you right there. And I just got
yeah,
2K. 2K is well, 2K is on Game Pass, I believe
it
too.
is. I'm telling you
That's a,
this. I am never paying for 2K again for myself. I could give it to someone else as a gift, but 2K pisses me off.
yeah, yeah. Because once you pay for it, then you got to put more money into it. Especially if you do what my cousin, shout out to Karan, him and his boys, they play the My Team or My Career, whatever, and they'll make
Yeah.
their bill, and people put so much money into the bills, it's crazy. I
Yeah,
know someone
and
that
the
put
thing,
over $1,000 worth of stuff in it.
I'm not fully against it, but you gotta start over every year.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the part that get me. I ain't into that. Like so because a lot of games are like that. You put money into your character. Like if you ever
Mhm.
watch Ready Player One, you ever watch that?
Love that movie. That movie is so man.
I'm actually reading the book now. I would recommend it for you.
Okay, okay.
The book is so good so far. It's so good, and because it's a book, they have more time to get into detail. But
Right.
um, I think I just cut you off. My bad.
No, you good, man. You good.
But
Um,
no, keep going. My bad, bro.
that the as far as Ready Player One, man, that was before time. I don't know how that film was able to get all those characters all in one. It was more than just like it's Warner Brothers, more than Warner Brothers. There was so many other characters. Like I don't know how they got in there somehow. It's just weird
So
how they
technically,
did.
Warner Brothers owns all those characters, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So and because Steven Spielberg did that movie,
I didn't know that.
so he has a lot of pull on Warner Brothers. Like because remember he has a sub company within Warner Brothers. That's how he got Tiny Toon Adventures and Animaniacs. So like he's like this with Warner Brothers basically.
Oh,
And
wow.
the writer
Nice.
he was breaking it all down in his podcast. It's a short podcast, so I could send it to you. It was like 15 minutes maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Please do. Please do.
Okay,
That's
so
interesting. I know.
no, you will like the book if you have time because I'm reading the book in little increments because I don't really like if I'm washing dishes, I'll just turn the
Mhm.
audiobook version on because I have an Amazon subscription, so my regular books get turned to audiobook sometimes.
Okay. So let me. Can I ask you this question?
Yeah,
I know you're gonna be honest with me. I know you are. So what did you think of that Kendrick Euphoria diss track? I wanted to ask you that earlier.
is that the recent one that came out today?
Yeah.
So this is where being too busy is killing me. When I first started the podcast with my two boys with Common Sense,
Mhm.
I was home from work because do you know what I do for a living or not really?
I don't.
I work in the school district, so I'm in school to be a teacher. So right now I'm a teacher aide. So I was
Oh.
laid off, but they're still paying me to stay home. That's why I had so much time. Now I get all this hip hop news. I kind of get to listen to it when I on my way home. I hear
Hmm.
it, but it sounded like he was flaming. It sounded like he was smoking Drake. And I'm a funny guy. I make fun of anyone in the moment, but like, and I didn't like. You're not as big on the Drake diss. I thought the Drake diss was like cool, but now I'm like, oh, you know what? You getting smoked.
Yeah. Like you said, it was cool. I think Drake's Ghostwriter did a phenomenal job. Just choose trying. I
And
just
that's
thought
the
it was like
thing.
nurse.
He wasn't. He never really addressed the ghostwriter thing because Meek Mill wasn't equipped to double down on that.
Yeah.
Now he has to address it, or he has to ignore it. Whatever he's gonna do. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
what's
I
your
thought
take? My bad.
his stands are going to accept anything he says or whatever. They're going to look past all that, unfortunately. Um, but I listened to it today, uh, 3 times. First time, just, it's a vibe or whatever. Second time, the beat, the production was really good, especially how the beat switched up. And then I went for the lyrics, and
Mm-hmm.
if I, I'm not, I guess I'm a Kendrick guy. Like, so I'll give it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to give it like a 7. I'll give
Okay.
it a 7.
Why a
Um,
7, not like an 8?
I feel like he didn't really attack hard enough. I thought he could have got more,
Okay. That's
especially
because you have Kendrick like really like you have high expectations because of what Kendrick can do. Is that
yeah,
part of it? Okay.
yeah, yeah. That's like a huge chunk of it. Um, I really want him to go for the jugular, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
he's easing a little bit off of. I think if Kendrick really
Okay.
wanted to, he say some personal things about it. Because I mean, the Drake one, he really got personal. Um, I just think it's good for hip hop, man. I'm glad he finally responded because I was tired of seeing these Drake stands out here kind of we wait on you, kid, we wait on you, and of course, what they're going to say is it's mid. Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I mean, in my time, I found that Drake fans are hard to argue with. I mean, anyone's fan base is hard to argue with, but the
hmm
difference is Drake's fans don't live in our reality, whereas at least Kendrick fans, at least even like the stands, not the fans, but the stands, at least they're grounded in the reality of hip hop. They might be biased,
right?
but they're grounded in the reality of hip hop. Anyone's fan base is biased,
Yeah,
but even J Cole, they're grounded in the reality of hip hop. Drake fans be like changing the rules. They talk about sales, then they talk about versatility. And I'm like, he can have those things, but that's not what I was arguing. Can you have the conversation I was trying to have?
Right. You know what that reminds me of? LeBron's fans. They'll bring up something else. You talk about, well, Jordan 6-0. Well, LeBron has the most points in playoff history. You talk about that. You talk about his longevity. Like, come on now.
I
Like, that's
think
not
that's a
what.
problem in sports conversations. I think Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith brought that onto us. I think they broke our brains as a society, and we don't know how to talk about sports because I think we talk about sports to win now, as if we're going to get a trophy. I think we should just talk
Yeah,
about it as it is.
I agree. That's exactly where we're at with it.
Because I'm a
It's
Michael
it's
Jordan guy, but I be hearing Michael Jordan fans snapping. I'm like, well,
right.
LeBron is good. Like, don't pretend he's like not a great player.
Yeah,
I just think Jordan's
LeBron.
better.
Yeah, I think Jordan, just his leadership is better. People fear Jordan. They don't fear LeBron. And they said Jordan was a better
Well, there's
two-way
one
player
person
than
who fears LeBron,
you.
DeMar DeRozan. Remember that?
Oh my lord. That's what I do. Oh, that's hilarious. Uh,
Oh, side note, while you segue to the sports thing, I don't think we missed. Maybe it's rare that we recorded today. The Knicks got. I'm looking at text messages from my friends, and there's an 18-2 quarter happening, like in the
really?
favor of the Knicks. Yeah. Luckily, we're only down 6, but 18-2 quarter is bad.
That's really bad. And the NBA truly wants the Knicks to win this because it's great storytelling. The Knicks haven't been good in a long time. Um, I could
But
see
we're helping
them.
them, even if that's the case.
Yeah,
So I'll give you game 2, but that last game, Embiid and Maxey came up small in the fourth.
they did. They did. I'm more upset that Nick Nurse is not playing the young guy. You can tell in this series, New York is just too fast. It is too fast for them. I would like to see KJ Martin and Ricky Council get on the court to stay with these young guys. He got
I see the
Batum
case
out
for
there with
Council
the
because he rebounds, but he won't hit
yeah,
no. But I don't know. I don't even like. That's another. To be honest, this is a happy podcast. Let's not make it a sad one.
yeah. You're right. You're right. Right. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't. All I can say is go Sixers. That's it, man.
So okay, let's recap.
Mhm.
Did we finish our HBO list? Like we don't gotta add more, but like let's just recap what we stated because I think we named the important ones.
Yeah.
We said Game of Thrones,
So,
Boardwalk Empire, The
mhm.
Wire, Oz. Did
Mhm.
you add Sex in the City, or did you just mention it to say it was
I,
good?
I, I mentioned it was a good show, and you don't
Okay,
gotta be a woman to watch it. Like if you like good writing
okay,
and stuff like that. Good show.
okay.
And Sopranos really.
Sopranos, yeah, I missed that. Recent nods to people watching. Recent nods, I say not insecure.
If I want to change it real fast to comedies, oh man, Eastbound and Down,
I lost you for a second.
one of the funniest shows I ever seen in my life.
I lost you. I lost you for a second. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, your voice. Yeah, you went far for a little bit. But I'll say that yeah, I'll keep going while you're doing that. You said comedies, HBO comedies. The two I think of when I
Yeah,
think of HBO is
that's a great series. Eastbound and Down is so hilarious, man. Danny McBride, who's the actor,
wait, what is it called?
job with that character.
Hold on, Key. Hold on. We lost you for a second. I think I hear you better now.
Oh, I'm back, man. I'm back. Sorry
Yep,
about
I
that.
hear you. No, it happens to me all the time.
All right.
You said comedies. I think you said Danny McBride, right?
Yeah, Danny McBride's the actor. Eastbound and Down is the series.
I'm gonna type that in. Okay.
It's about an
Mm.
ex baseball player who got dropped from the league, and he's trying to have this redemption story of getting back in the league.
Oh, I remember
It's
this.
dark. Yeah, it's like a dark humor type.
Okay.
Probably one of the funniest shows I ever seen in my life.
It's made by the same production company that did
And,
like Stepbirds and all that. If you didn't know.
yeah, it's funny because Danny McBride actually like he pitched before he got famous and big like that. He pitched the idea to Will Ferrell, and he gave Will
Really?
Ferrell a CD. And Will Ferrell actually like looked at the script or whatever, and said this might be something. And he wound up having it in his studios or whatever and developing it. That's why Will Ferrell is a lot in season one a lot.
Oh. Okay. Oh wait. I this is I want to get back to the comedies, but I didn't. One of my favorite HBO
Mhm.
shows. Before we leave, I gotta mention Succession.
I haven't checked it out.
You,
I haven't checked it
I
out.
don't know if you'll like it. You know what? You would. You like writing. You at least appreciate it, even if you
Mhm.
don't love it. You at least appreciate it.
Everyone was raving about it, so I'm like, okay, like this show is really like that, and they were winning awards and everything like that. So,
Yeah,
all
you'll
right,
like it.
let me check. Yeah, let me check this series out. They really going in on this.
Back to comedies. I'm gonna say I like back to comedies. Insecure is a big one for me.
Yes, loved it.
And Curb.
I haven't seen Curb, man. I haven't seen it.
Really, you'll like it, especially since you like dark comedy. It's very, it's a dark comedy, but not hard to watch. Curb is like Simpsons in a way. You it starts one way, and the way it ends, it loops back to what happens in the beginning in a clever way, and you could never catch how it's going to loop. So me saying that doesn't ruin it for you, and you'll really lose it when you get to the Vivica A. Fox season. You're going to lose it.
Uh, Vivica's in it.
Say it again.
Vivica's in it.
She's in
Vivica
it for
A.
a season
Fox.
or two.
Oh Lord, how was she?
Fantastic.
Okay, okay. I know
I'm
she
losing you
she
sound
has
wise
some
again, I
bad
think.
things. You hear me now?
I kind of hear you.
Check, 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 check.
Oh, now my light's going on. Technology is not, my light's blowing up at me.
I hear you perfectly.
Okay, cool. But no, I was just gonna say, I mean, we're running over an hour, so we can start to wrap it up anyway. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, um, yeah. So we basically next time we come on, we can just do we could do more of the non HBO stuff like FX series maybe.
Okay.
Oh, I hear you perfectly. Um,
Yeah, because we yeah, because we didn't really get a chance to break down Shogun, and that's probably my favorite show this year. I'm saying it right now.
really?
I I love it. So I really like that series. I gotta look at the subtitles a lot, but I really enjoyed that series. Like what they were doing with this, and I remember you explained about it too, about the
Mhm.
bringing different cultures in there and explaining it. I think that show was brilliant. It was
It's
awesome.
brilliant.
Yeah, but we go. Yeah, FX got one with that one, and also I don't know if you saw the series. FX has a series about the Clippers.
Yeah, at first it made me chuckle because I didn't think I never connected Lawrence Fishburne to Doc Rivers, but I'm like, it works. But FX don't miss, so I
Yeah,
trust them.
they definitely
And
don't. They definitely don't. So I'm excited for that.
so maybe what we do next time is we'll make it a game, and I'll do more prep because I'll be honest, I was sick this past weekend. That's why I keep it on my nose on camera.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do more prep. You bring your 5 best FX shows, FX slash Hulu, because they're the same company now, basically. And
Okay,
I will do my
we can do
top
that.
5. And I don't care about rankings, but it'd be a fun game, and we bring them together that way. And I'll do that
Okay, and
after the
remember, I
ESV
want to
thing
do
where
that.
I put them on the screen.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah, and also think about it. The Marvel Draft. Who would you pick on your team?
So we got two games: Marvel Draft and the top 5 FX.
Yes.
And okay, um, we'll text each other and we'll make the rules in the draft.
Okay, we can do that. Easy. So I'll get my
Okay.
list going.
All right. So we gotta make a draft board and all that. All right. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I think that was worked out really good. I'm glad we finally got to do this because we've been talking about it for a little bit, but like schedules was lining up. I kept getting sick. I'm still sick, but I was like, you know what? I gotta just get the episode out there.
You fought through, man.
Yeah, I even sacrificed some Sixers time, not knowingly, but I did. But yeah,
Man.
I'm gonna let you get out here
It's
so you can watch
awesome.
the game.
Yeah, most definitely. It was awesome, man. I'm glad to have this conversation with you, talk to you, man. This is gonna be the last time too. We're always gonna be having little talks and discussions.
Oh,
I
just
think
shoot
it's
me your
gonna be
availability because I'm trying to up how many episodes I do a week. I want to get to 2 a week soon, so I'll always have space for you.
okay. Bet we can do that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming. That was the Avatar Slang podcast. Thank you for joining me, Keeohn, aka Chauncey. We'll be back. Hope maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks. We'll see. We'll talk it out.